Hey guys, this is Kyle on 4 Wheels. I'm just doing an updated video on U-Haul trucks and trailers. Right now, we're gonna discuss these car haulers, and they're nice for cars, but you cannot fit full-size trucks on them. So they require a 2-inch ball. They have a chain brake on them, so if it happens to come off, because I don't really like these style, I like the ones you can put a lock on and stuff. But when you go to rent these, just check them all out and stuff. They should be alright when you show up, but you never know. They got ramps on this side and that side. That should be it as far as that. Well, we do got these tire straps. They work alright. When you pull the car up from here, you gotta move these out of the way. Just in case. Now these 4x8s, the only thing they're good for is like boxes, just small stuff, because they're not that big of a trailer. I mean, compared to a 6x12, you can fit furniture, and plus boxes, anything really, even wood. 2x4s will fit in there. But that's also a 2-inch ball. With the 4x8, that's also a 2-inch ball. And like I said, all the trucks and trailers should already be checked before you even show up at this place or any U-Haul distributor. All the trailers, trucks, everything should be checked out, ready to go by the time you leave. These are pretty tricky to open. Takes a couple times to get the hang of it, but they should be all clear. Now some U-Hauls, especially 6x12s, they'll have the rolling up door, but I don't really like those. I like the ones that actually open, because this is a rolling up style, so you actually get a little bit of a lip, so it's on the inside, it's a little wider. So if you're barely getting something in there, because it does say a 6x12 inch trailer, so if you're wanting to get something that's 6 foot, you might not be able to do it because this is a roll up door. So it's really a 5x8 doorway, considering a couple inches here and a couple inches on the other side. So just consider that when you're gonna rent out the biggest trailers that U-Haul presents. But you also want to look for scratches. Scratches like this, I know they're little, but they should have X's on them. This X means for this whole U-Haul cracked part. This is normal wear and tear. You will not get charged for this, but you still make sure it has an X on there because they need to know it's been looked at. So even though you're not getting charged for it, still look out for that stuff. And they all come with just all of these 6x12 trailers come with the chain brake. So if this manages to fail and the 2 chains that are hooked up to your vehicle manage to fail, you still have the chain brake. But if that fails, you're on your own. Yes. You should be checking your trailer every stop you make, just to make sure it's tight, the chains aren't dragging on the ground, stuff like that. If your chains are dragging on the ground and you come back and they're very thin, you'll get charged for that also. Now the exact price, I don't know, it just depends on how bad the trailer really is, but you almost never get charged if you know what you're doing with these trailers. That's why I'm somewhat trying to give you guys a clue on what to do with these trailers, so when you rent them, you guys aren't completely clueless. I've been doing this for like 4 years now, so I'm fresh enough to where the classes are still in my head, but not doing it so long to where I made my own rules here. Each dealer for these U-Hauls, they actually have their own set of rules as far as what items they will take back if you got them from like a different dealer. Like, they'll have different rules on waiting time, stuff like that. For me, I'm a small business, so there's really no waiting. And the average time you're gonna spend indoors doing paperwork, hooking up trailers, even trucks too, because you have to check those out, which we'll talk about a little later, you're gonna spend at the least amount of time renting a U-Haul, 10 minutes. If it's any sooner than that, check for mistakes, because 10 minutes is actually really good for filling out paperwork on the computer and coming out, backing up to the trailer, hooking the trailer up, and checking it out. 10 minutes is very quick. 20 minutes is pretty good too. I would suggest 20 minutes is about perfect. Any longer than that, then there's either a problem or somebody doesn't know what they're doing. Unless they're super busy or something. But that's about it as far as trailers. Next, we will talk about trucks. Alright, we're at the trucks now. We're approaching the biggest truck that U-Haul has to offer. So the biggest trailer was a 6x12. This is the biggest vehicle. Now before you leave, make sure you want a dolly or not, or pads, because it's really difficult once you leave to come back. It's easy when you get here, but remembering that stuff is a pain. But they all trucks have this style hookup. They also have a locking choice. Let's see here, locking choice right here. You can put a lock there to lock it when you're in the city. On the country, you don't have to worry about it so much, but in the city, people like to steal more there on average. So all trucks should be locked upon arrival. Like me, I actually get the trucks ready for the customers, so I actually drive it up to where they need it for conveniency, and I get it even if it's winter time. I clear off the snow like any dealer should, but I also warm it up, keep it warm. So if it uses somewhat of gas, they don't usually care, because I'm doing a favor for them by warming the vehicle so they don't have to drive in cold weather. Because in Michigan, it gets very cold. Now, it does have a certain gas saving system, and it's located on the right side. And they're very efficient as far as that. I mean, they have lots of power. They have more power than you would think they would have. They have pretty good get-up speed, but there's all kinds of caution signs, stuff like that. They don't like it when you go fast, but these trucks are made for your convenience. I mean, it's like a cockpit. It kind of, so when this is like a view from over here, you can kind of tell it's made for the drivers. The heating is good. It's got radio, AM, FM. They don't have CD players. That's the only thing that sucks. I did have one girl ask if there was mirrors in this truck. Well, why isn't there a mirror? Well, that's kind of common sense when you look like this. You can't see anything. So when you drive these, you don't have a rear view mirror, you have a right side mirror and a left side mirror. So keep that in mind when you're doing stuff like that. When you drop off the vehicle, make sure you lock the doors and shut them. Make sure you don't leave the key inside there, because you'll get charged for calling somebody to unlock that vehicle. Check the tires before you leave. Again, with the trucks, you gotta check all the scrapes, even these little ones. Let's see if I can get in this thing here. These little scrapes right here should have X's on them, because that you will get charged for. Now, the most devastating charges will probably be stuff like this. This costs a lot. I mean, you almost can't get away from scraping these, but they do have X's here. I mean, they put them every foot on these things, so you guys, you know, they don't like charging you, but if they have to, they will. Again, you can tow stuff with these too. They're 2-inch balls. If you can see it, no, probably not. But they come with 2-inch balls. They also got a ramp for your convenience, so you can back up right to a porch, walk right on and off this thing. They also come with the 7-prong female and the 4-flat. So it's your choice. Most trailers for U-Haul do not have the 4-flat, so be prepared for that. Bring your own converter. Most dealers sell their own converters, so you usually don't have to worry about that. They're about $11.99 average around there. Some cheaper, some more expensive. Again, check the lights before you leave, because you don't want to go down the road and find out your lights don't work and get stopped by a cop. And make sure you take your receipt. You should get a receipt, and you should get a pamphlet that should be with you on, it's either a yellow or green slip. Yellow means you did not get insurance for this vehicle. Green means you did get insurance. Either way, you still have to have them just in case you do get stopped by a cop. You will have everything you need, all the information that it takes for him not to suspect that you stole this vehicle. Because if you don't have your receipt and the insurance card, or slip, paper, whatever you want to call it, he will think you stole it, and you will be sitting there for a long time until they figure out that this is actually yours, because they will have to contact the dealer, all that stuff. But the dealer should, you know, make sure you got all your stuff too, because it's also a hassle for him. Any hassle for you is a hassle for the dealers. So remember that, guys. When you get mad at the dealers about stuff, it's also a very big hassle for them, because we're not the top of the totem pole here. we're at the bottom just like you guys. So whenever there's a problem that you guys need to fix something, we have to go to somebody to fix it. And again, these things run on gas. Even these 26 footers, every U-Haul truck runs on gas. They used to run them on diesel, but people were accidentally putting gas in them. So that would be running the engine. And I'm gonna see if, oh, hold on a second. And if you read this here, 20,000, see, it's locked. See, that's a good habit to get into, guys. Lock your vehicles. I don't know if this will have the gas. Nope, it doesn't tell you which side it's on because there should be an arrow here, but there's no arrow. But they're usually on passenger sides, which makes them horrible because pulling into gas stations on the driver's side with a big vehicle like this is just terrible. I know because I have to do it sometimes when people don't bring it back with the correct amount of fuel. And that's also another thing. If let's say you rent a U-Haul truck and it had half a tank, bring it back at a half a tank or more full. I know you won't get reimbursed if you fill it up more than what you're supposed to bring it back at, which, for example, for this moment, it's a half a tank. If you fill it up, you just did the dealer a favor. You don't get reimbursed for any of that. But if you're supposed to bring it back at a half tank and you bring it back at a quarter tank, you will get charged for that extra fuel that you did not put in the tank. And that's about it. If you guys have any more questions, do not hesitate to comment. And if it's a big question, I'll even make another video about it. It's no big deal. More information you guys know, the less hassle it is for me when I'm checking out these. So I recommend people around the area to watch these videos so they know. Alright, this is Kyle on 4 Wheels, out.